Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how we made $15,000 with this brand new Shopify store. We scaled from zero to now $15,000 in a single day. Now, to show that this is real, let me just refresh this real quick. And there we go. As you can see, $15,000. You can see the sales throughout the day. Actually, let me show you the sales from yesterday. We've been doing consistently over $10,000 a day with this store. Again, $12,000 is the past day and about $15,000 yesterday. Altogether in 2 days we've done almost close to $30,000. So how was I able to scale this store to $15,000 a day? That is exactly what I'm going to be breaking down in this video. In this video, I'll be showing you the exact step-by-step process of building a store from scratch, taking it from zero, and then taking it to over $15,000 a day. I'm going to be covering everything that you need to know to replicate and get similar results with zero previous experience. All you will do is just follow me and watch this video till the end. Now, this is actually a store of one of our clients who helped him scale to about $15,000 a day. If you have a store you're struggling with or you want to get started with the store, click the first link in the description, book a free call with me. I'd be more than happy to help you. With that being said, let's go over what we will be covering in this video. I'm going to be covering and showing you exactly how to pick a winning product. Then I'm going to tell you exactly how to build a high converting branded store. And then comes the fun part, which is the exact step-by-step Facebook ad strategy to launch and get sales. So I'm going to be revealing the exact strategy that we used for this exact store. As you can see right here, $15,000 in a day. This store, the strategy that we used to launch this store from zero to get sales and then further scale it to $10,000, $15,000 a day. So I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step strategy in Facebook ads. All you do is literally copy what I show and you can launch your same ads as well. And then further, once I show you how to launch the ads and get sales, I'm also going to be showing you the strategy that we used to scale it to $10,000+ a day. So let's jump right into it. So first thing, let's talk about picking the right product. Now, picking the right product will make or break the success of your store. And the reason for this is quite simple. Your product is the foundation of your store. If your product is not right, doesn't matter how good your marketing is, doesn't matter how good your store is, you're not going to get any conversion. So it's very important that you understand how to pick a winning product. Now, to pick a winning product, first you need to understand what a winning product is. So real quick, let me go over the characteristics of a winning product. Now, this is 4 things that we look for when we are doing product research, and I'll further tell you also how to do product research and where to find these products. But first of all, before you jump into product research, you need to know exactly what you're looking for. And this is what I see most people do wrong. They jump into product research, they spend hours and days and weeks in trying to find a product. But when I ask them, what kind of products are you looking for? They don't have an answer. You don't know what you're looking for. How do you expect to find it? So first of all, let's go with the characteristics of a winning product. And these are 4 things that you should be looking for to find a winning product. The first thing is the product should solve a real problem. Now, this is one of the most important things when it comes to product research. And this is why I have it as the first thing. Your product should solve a tangible problem. The reason for this is because if your product adds value to the customer's life, it makes the selling process much easier. So you need to have a product that solves a real problem. When you're going through product research and you're looking at products, you need to ask yourself, is this a product that solves a tangible problem? Which means, does it add value to the customer's life in any tangible way? If the answer is yes, that is a good start. Now, the next thing you want to look for is the profit margins. When it comes to profit margins, I recommend you look for products that give you a healthy profit margin, which you should be able to sell the product for about 3x. If you're buying the product for about $10, you should be able to sell it for $30. So you should be able to sell the product for at least 3 times the price that you're buying it for. And at the same time, the minimum selling price should be $25. You do not want to go under $25 because then you won't have any money left, because you have to take into consideration the cost of ads. Now, how do you figure out if a product can be sold for at least a 3x or not? Number one, you want to look at other competitors, go to Amazon, check out what other people are selling it for, not other dropshippers, but other actual brands selling the product for. They get the average price that they're selling it for, and you'll have a good idea of what you can sell it for, and therefore you can then figure out if it has good profit margins or not. The next thing you want to look for is the product should be evergreen, which means you should be able to sell the product all year round. It should not be a seasonal product. It should not be a product that you can only sell in the summers or winters. It should be something solves a real problem, has good profit margins, and can be sold year around. And that is how you scale consistently, or else you only have a store that'll do well for a month or two if you're lucky, and then that's it, you're back to square one. So The third thing is it should be an evergreen product. And the fourth thing is the product should have proven demand. Now, you need a product that already has proven need in the market. Now, there is a fine line between having a product that is in demand and is saturated. There are multiple ways you can qualify a product. All you have to do is look at the ads library of other competitors, see how many ads are being run, see how long the ads have been running for, and also look at the suppliers, how many suppliers are there for the product, and what is the average order value for each supplier for that product. But all in all, I don't want to make this a video about product research. I'll link a video in the description that covers exact product research more in depth. You can watch it after this video. But generally, the four things you want to keep in mind when you want to look for a product is it should solve a real problem, it should have good profit margins, it should be evergreen, and it should have proven demand. Now, once you figure that out and you have an idea of what you're looking for, let's go over how to find the products. And first and foremost, you need to understand the structure of your research strategy. Now, the way we do research and the way we were able to find this product that does over $10,000 a day for our client is by splitting product research into two phases. And let me explain. The first phase is your market-wide research. In this phase, we focus on finding as many standout winning products as we can, regardless of a niche. What this basically means is you're not narrowing down based on niche right away from the start, but looking for products that have the characteristics of a winning product. And the reason for this is very simple. We do not want ourselves to be boxed into one single niche from the get-go, because our focus is not one niche, and it shouldn't be. Our focus is to find a winning product. So we first start with market-wide research, and this is what it looks like. You want to go look at products regardless of the niche. The only criteria you want to have is it a winning product? And how we figure that out is, number one, it solves a problem. Number two, it has good profit margins, it is evergreen, and has proven demand. If it checks those boxes, that checks the first phase of the product research. Now, the second phase is where we narrow further down, and this is where we do niche research. So what you want to do is, from the first phase where you do market-wide research, you want to make a list of about 10 to 15, 20 products. Once you have that list, you want to then choose a single product from that list of winning products that you did with market-wide research. And this could be a product that you personally like or think will do the best. Now, the reason, and this is very important, the reason I say pick a product based on what you like from the market-wide research is because we've already qualified the products with data. When you're doing product research, never go off of just your gut. First, qualify off of data. And because the market-wide research products are qualified with data, we can then figure out what resonates with us the best and pick a product. And then in phase two, the product that you choose is going to be the niche that you want to delve into. So for example, you do market-wide research, you found 15, 20 products. One of them is a dog product, right? And you like it. You pick that product as the product that you want to sell. Now your niche is going to be the dog niche. And this is where phase two comes in. Now we will be narrowing down into the niche of the dog product. So what you want to do is you want to now look for products that are in the dog niche and are winning products. So now you're only focusing on one niche and the criteria that we have for winning products. So all the dog products that you go through, they should qualify of these four metrics. Number one, it should solve a problem, have good profit margins, evergreen, and should have proven demand. Now, in terms of where you can find these products and where you can do product research, that is important as well. What you can do is you can scroll through Facebook ads library, you can go through AliExpress, you can go through TikTok, you can go through Instagram, Facebook, or even used paid tools such as Kalo Data or PP ads. I actually have multiple trainings and videos. I will link them in the description. You can go watch it after this video. I'll show you the exact step-by-step process to finding these products, both organically and through paid tools. So you can go through all of these ways of finding winning products. Find the link to that in the description. Watch it after this video. But it doesn't matter which method you pick to find these products. What matters is you pick the right products. And that is the most crucial part. Finding products or going through products or finding a catalog of products, it's not hard. The hard part is picking the right product out of those catalog of products. So that is how you pick the right product. Now, the second step is now to build a high converting branded store. And the reason we have been able to do sales like this is because our conversion rate is high. And the reason our conversion rate is high is because we have a high converting branded store. Now, the way to build a high converting branded store is very peculiar. It's not just as simple as picking a theme, putting a product, and then putting a bunch of images on it and then expecting to get sales. There's a certain way of going about it. So first, let's talk about what kind of store should you build. Should you build a one product store? Should you build a general store? Or should you build a niche store? This store right here and all the other client stores that we build are not any of them. This is not a one product store. This is not a niche store. This is not a general store. This is a hybrid store. Now, what is a hybrid store? A hybrid store is basically a combination of one product and a niche store with a twist of our own. And let me explain what this basically means. With a hybrid store, you focus on selling products inside one niche. However, you have one product as a main featured product, and all the others are complementary products that go well with each other. And these are used as upsells to increase your average order value. Now, to help you understand, let me break it down in more simpler terms. There is one store, you have one single niche. Let's say you have 10 products. Out of those 10 products, you will have one main feature product that you consistently advertise and you get traffic to. And then you also have other 9 complementary products. Now, this is how it works. You get traffic from that one main feature product. People come to your store, they buy that product, then you upsell the other 9 products, and then you increase your average order value. Now, the reason this works the best, and trust me, I've been in the space for about 8 years now. We've tested everything from one product stores to general stores to niche stores, all kinds of stores. I've built hundreds of stores for our clients and I've managed hundreds of stores. And this is the best way of building a store because it converts the best and it gives you the best profit margins. This will increase your conversion rate. This will give you a high average order value, and which means you will also make more profit per sale. So this is the kind of store I want you to build. Now let's go with the store building principles. And this is where the fun part starts. If you are someone who is interested in psychology, you are going to love this. Now, I want you to understand how people work. I want you to understand how people's buying psychology works. People buy with emotion and they justify that purchase with logic. I'm going to repeat it because this is very important for you to understand. People buy with emotion and they justify it with logic. What does this mean and why is this important? Why does it even matter? If you care about making $10,000 to $15,000 a day, you're going to listen to this because it matters a lot. You're not selling features. I want you to understand that you are not here to sell features. People do not care about the features of your product. They care about the outcome that the product will get them. Therefore, you need to sell the outcome. I've seen so many stores every day. I talk to a lot of you guys and you guys send me your stores for reviews and whatever. And by the way, shameless plug, if you want assistance with your store, you have a store that's not converting, not getting sales, you're struggling with, or you want to get started with dropshipping, first link in the description, book a free call. I'll help you with your store. But as I was saying, every day I look at a lot of your stores. The common theme that I see is most beginners focus on selling the product. All the store is literally product, banner, buy my product, best offer, it does this, it does that, this feature, X, Y, and Z feature. And that's why you're not getting conversions, because people do not care about that. People care about the outcome that the product will get them. So you want to sell them the outcome. Now, to sell the outcome effectively, you want to touch a pain point that affects them, right? And this is also why it's very important to have a problem-solving product. So with your store, your copy, your ads, everything, you want to focus on connecting with people emotionally, and you do this by selling the outcome, by focusing on what the outcome of the product is. Now, once you connect with them emotionally, that is when you then go mention the benefits and sell them logically. But do not start with just screaming, buy my product or XYZ offer 40% off. It doesn't matter, right? Just focus on connecting with them emotionally, sell them the outcome, show what problem it solves, show why it's an important problem for them, and then show the logical side of selling. Also, another thing I want you to keep in mind and understand is that I do not want you to build a dropshipping store. You want to make your store look and feel like a real brand that people trust, and that will add value to the customer. And to wrap this up real quick, I want you to just think of any brand that you like. Think of Lululemon, whatever you like, Nike, Adidas, go to their website and see how you feel. There's a certain feeling attached to that brand website, and that is feeling of trust. It's clean, it's clear, it doesn't look like a dropshipping store, and that is what you want to replicate. You want your store to feel branded, you want your store to have trust factors in it, and that is when people will buy. Again, if you want to help you build your store, book the free call with me, link in the description. Now, once you have your store, the next, and this is the fun part, this is what I've been waiting to tell you guys and show you guys, which is launching your Facebook ads and actually getting sales. And I'm going to break down the strategy step by step right here. So let's jump right into it. Now, for each product, you want to start with the testing phase. Now, the key to effective testing is data. You want to run tests to collect data and figure out what works and what doesn't, so that there's no room for guesswork. I do not want you to be saying, I guess this will work, I hope this works. Throw that out of the window. When you're running ads, there is no room for emotions. It's all logic. It is all data. And the way to effectively test any product is by backing it up by data. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So what do you want to do? So what you want to do is you want to start by creating a single CBO campaign per product. So whatever product you're testing, create one CBO campaign for that product and set the campaign objective to conversions. Now, once you have that campaign set up, inside the campaign, you want to create 3 to 5 ad sets. For each ad set, you want to set the budget to $20 per day, and you want to use broad targeting. You do not want to use interest targeting that you stack. Don't do any of that. If anything, you can also test just leaving the targeting with no interest, but go as broad as you can. And that's because Facebook now is so smart, you honestly will be doing it a disservice, or you'll be hurting your ad performance by narrowing down to exact interest. So go as broad as you can and never interest stack. What interest stack basically means is do not have multiple interests in one single ad set. So go broad with the interest targeting, and if you want, you can also test no interest at all. And for the placements, set the placements to auto. Now, let's go with the ad set. So for each ad set, you'll be uploading 2 to 5 creative variations. You have 5 ad sets, you're going to have 5 different creatives, and these 5 creatives should be different. Each creative should have either a different hook, a different style of the video, a different selling angle, whatever it is. These should be 5 unique ad creatives. Once you have that, you want to launch the campaign and you want to leave it untouched for 72 hours. So just to give you a visual breakdown, you're going to have one CBO campaign. You'll have 3 ad sets. Each ad set will have 4 unique creatives, and then you want to launch it, and then you want to leave it as it is. Don't touch it. Now, I'm sure some of you might be wondering why wait 72 hours. So when you launch the ads, Facebook algorithm goes into what is called the learning phase. This is the period where Facebook is actively experimenting. It's testing different audiences, it's trying different tastes, it's learning which type of audience and which type of people will convert the best for your ads. So if you start turning your ads off too early, which is anytime before 72 hours, you're basically cutting Facebook off before it has had a chance to gather enough data. And that means you'll never know if an ad could have been a winning ad or not. This means you're literally going to be burning through cash. On the other hand, if you let your bad ads keep running for too long, you'll also burn through cash. So the sweet spot is to let it run for 72 hours. And I'm going to show you exactly now what to do after those 72 hours. But do not turn off an ad set before 72 hours. I know, trust me, I've been there. It's very hard not to, because sometimes some ads might not be performing well at all. You'll be losing money on some ad sets, but you have to let it run. That is part of the process. So here is what you do after you let the ads run for 72 hours. After 72 hours, you want to look at your ad sets with a clear and unemotional lens. This is very important. Do not be emotional about it. As I just said, some ads might have lost you money, but you need to be logical and use reasoning when operating with ads. So what you want to look at is numbers. You want to look at 3 main criteria, 3 main KPIs. The first thing is your click-through rate. Now, click-through rate shows if your ad actually grabs attention. If people don't click, it means your ad did not do what it's intended to do and it is not effective. Now, the rule of thumb in terms of what you want to look for when it comes to click-through rate is for tier 1 countries, such as if you're targeting US, UK, Canada, a healthy click-through rate is around 0.8 to 1% and above. Anything that is below 0.3% is not good and means people are scrolling right past your ad, and that is not a good sign. The second KPI that you want to look for is your cost per click. Why we are looking at cost per click is because the cost per click will tell you how much you're paying just to bring someone into your store. If it's too high, profit margins will take a hit and you'll lose money, which means it doesn't make any sense to run that ad. And the rule of thumb and what figure you're looking for in terms of figuring out if you should run it or not is if the cost per click is higher than $3, that's a sign that your ad is not getting people interested enough, which means Facebook has to spend more money to get people to click. And therefore, that means it is not going to be profitable. And also when it comes to cost per click, it is heavily affected by your creative. So if you have a high cost per click, it means your creative is not right. You need to fix your creative. The third KPI that I look for when I'm running these ads after 72 hours is your add to cart. Now, the add to cart is the actual first signal whether your ad's performing well or not. If people are adding to cart, it means the product and the ad has done its job. Now, the rule of thumb for the add to cart is if an ad has spent about $30 and hasn't generated even one add to cart, it is failing and you would turn it off. So let's go with cutting out the losers. Once you check the metrics, once you check the KPIs, here is what you want to do. You want to stop all the ad sets with a click-through rate of less than 0.3%. You want to then look at all the ads and see whatever ad has a cost per click of more than $3. You want to cut them off, shut them down. And thirdly, all the ad sets that have spent over $30 and do not have an add to cart, you want to turn them off as well. Now, again, I know you'll have a lot of ads that might not, pass these criteria, and you might have to turn them off and you've lost a lot of money and you're sad about it. But here is how Facebook ads work. 80% of your ads are going to fail. The goal is to find those 20% that do work much faster, right? So it's very normal to have ads not perform. Don't worry, it is part of the game. So once you cut your losers off, once you turn off the ads that do not meet our criteria, you want to let the others run. For the ads that remain, you want to let them run for a little longer, and here is why. We want to collect more data. 7 days usually is a more reliable time to collect enough data. The longer you run an ad, the more you get rid of randomness, which means guesswork, right? You give Facebook more time to collect enough data to exactly show you if it's doing well or not. An ad that looks good after 3 days might still just be a lucky ad, but if it's still performing well after 7 to 10 days, that is a winning ad. The next reason why we let it run for a little longer is because purchases will slowly start to show up. Ad cards are a good signal and you will get it early on, but sometimes it takes a while for Facebook to optimize the ad enough to start getting purchases. So if you shut it down early and if you don't let it run for long enough, you're not going to see the purchases. And the third reason why we let it run for longer is because of the conversion funnel testing. So for the 7 days, when you run the ad, you'll see the amount of people that click and that convert into customers. This will give you a good idea of whether the problem is your store conversion or not. If your ads are doing really well, they're coming to your store, but the conversion rate is really low, that means there are changes that need to be done. And if that is you right now, you have traffic coming in, but your conversion rates are low, book a free call with me. Link is in the description. I'll go to your store. I'll tell you exactly how to fix it and improve it. But let's get back to the video. So now that you have cut your losers, you have a couple of ads that are performing well. They're getting purchases, they're getting add to carts, they're doing really well. You're not losing money on a couple of ads. Now let's go over how to actually take off these ads, because that was the testing phase. Now we're going to go into actually running and taking these off and launching these into potentially scaling further. So the first step is building your top of the funnel campaign. Now, top of the funnel is basically your cold audiences. These are people who have never heard of you before, and your job with your top of the funnel ads is to get new people into your funnel, have them convert into our customers. So once you're running ad sets, next you must start with scaling your top of the funnel. This doesn't mean stacking interests and testing different interest targeting. That doesn't matter anymore. What this basically means is you do not want to just focus on your interest. Your interests don't matter as much anymore. What matters is the angle of your selling. So rather than building your ads around interests, you want to build your ad sets around angles. And this will also correlate with your ad creatives. So your creatives are going to be what really push the ad set into being profitable or not. It's not your interest. You can have a broad interest, you can have no interest, but if a creative focuses on a certain selling angle, Facebook will then find the best fit audience for that creative selling angle and then show it to them, and therefore you'll get sales. So your selling angle matters more than your interest. To give you an example, let's say you have a backend product again. Your creative should be focusing on different selling angles, and this is why it's very important to test different creatives. So for example, one selling angle could be stopping back pain instantly, right? This is people who care about getting pain relief. The other creative selling angle could be about ergonomics of a product, and this will target people who care about ergonomics. So for example, you can have a creative that finds the angle of sit longer without stiffness. Once you launch this ad, Facebook will then find people who care about sitting longer without stiffness. Therefore you'll have conversions, right? Interest targeting will not work anymore, and this is how you want to go about your top of the funnel. So you're going to have one ad set targeting pain relief, you're going to have another ad set targeting ergonomics, another targeting gamers, and so on. So the ad sets that you have in your top of the funnel are no more targeting interests, they're targeting selling angles. So it's the same product, just different selling angles. And that is the secret. You're not testing audiences anymore. You're testing selling angles, and your creative is huge in this process. Now, once you've set up your top of the funnel, the next is your middle of the funnel. And this is where most money is made. This is where we start to print money as well. And that is because this is where we start to retarget warm audiences. So middle of the funnel basically consists of people who have shown interest in your product. This means they've seen your ad, they've clicked on your call to action, they've gone to your website, they might have even added the product to cart, but they still did not convert for some apparent reason, right? And in this phase, in the middle of the funnel, your job is to then take those people and convert them into customers. So this is where you want to build audiences of people who have seen your ad before, who have shown interest but did not convert, and this is where we focus on pushing them to becoming a customer. Now, this is what I want you to do. First of all, I want you to create middle of the funnel audiences. This is going to be the first audience is going to be a link clicks through 1 to 14 days. The next audience is going to be 75% and 95% video viewers across 7 to 30 days. Third audience is your page viewers across 7 to 14 days. And the fourth audience is people that have added your product to cart. Once you have the audiences, you then want to run certain creatives. There's a different kind of creatives that you want to run for your middle of the funnel because they will convert differently, right? The ad creatives that I want you to run in these ad sets, and this is what we did as well, is testimonial ad creatives, before and after ad creatives, demo ad creatives, FAQ ad creatives. These, if you see the pattern of them, is basically talking to the person who's viewing the ad. You clicked the link before, you've gone to the website before, you didn't convert because of one of these objections. Here's a testimonial to give social proof. Here's how the product works to help deal with objections. And that is what you're trying to do with the middle of the funnel. The goal is to move them from the curious state, which is they know the product has some value, but they still have some objections, to paying for the product and becoming a customer through testimonials and answering any questions or objections they might have. Now, for the middle of the funnel, you want to run the middle of the funnel campaign and the ad sets for 7 to 14 days, and then you want to push it to bottom of the funnel. Once the middle of the funnel is set, it's doing well and it's running profitably, you want to then focus on scaling, and this I call the Super 6 scaling. And this is what we did. So once we had the top of the funnel ready, we had the bottom, middle of the funnel working, we were retargeting people, turning people that were interested into paying customers. Then we built enough of an audience to give to Facebook to build more similar audiences. And let me explain what this basically means. This is where we focus on lookalike audience. And lookalike audience is Facebook's way of finding new cold prospects who behave like your best customers. So let me explain this in simple terms, and basically giving the example of the funnel. Top of the funnel, we take cold audiences, we take cold people who don't know about our product, who don't know about our brand. We turn them into customers or push them into middle of the funnel. So some people from top of the funnel will convert directly into customers, which is well and good. Some people from top of the funnel will become in the middle of the funnel, which means there'll be people who have added the product to cart, didn't convert, who have viewed our videos but didn't convert for whatever apparent reason. Now this funnel will now from this funnel, there will be people who convert into customers. From the middle of the funnel, the ads that we run, people will then turn into customers, and this will start to build a list of our customer base. And now in the Super 6 scaling lookalike strategy, we're going to take that list. We're going to tell Facebook, this is a list of our customers. I want you to find similar people and show them these ads. And this converts so well, it's a hack to printing money. So here is what we're going to do with the Super 6 lookalike strategy. We take the 6 best performing seed audiences and then scale using those. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to create your seed audiences. I want you to create seed audiences for 6 types. Number one, the first audience is going to be your purchases. This is all the people that have purchased your product from the store. The second audience is going to be your people that have added to cart. The third is going to be view content, people who have viewed your content. The fourth is going to be page viewers. The fifth is going to be ad engagers. And the sixth is going to be 95% of video viewers. So people who have viewed your videos or your ads, 95%. And in terms of numbers, you want to aim for having 1,000 plus seed, but in the minimum, you have at least 100 to 500. So once you create those seed audiences, then you want to make a 1% lookalike per seed for the best performing country. Let me explain what this means. You want to have those lookalikes, and then you want to have 1% of that lookalike audience targeting the best country that has performed really well. So if you're only targeting US, you're going to be just doing US. If you target worldwide, or if you target tier 1 countries, whatever the top 3, 4, 5 best performing countries are for you in terms of purchases and sales, that is what you want to focus on. Next, you want to put all lookalikes into one CBO campaign starting at $100 per day per country and spend more on ads that are profitable. So once you figure out what countries perform the best in terms of purchases, what you're going to do is you're going to create a CBO campaign for each country, set the budget to $100, and then let it run. And then as the ads start to perform better, you want to put more money into ads that are getting more profitable. And then after 7 to 10 days, you want to start to cut all the ads that are not profitable anymore so you don't burn a lot of money. Now, ladies and gentlemen, by this point, we were already doing multiple 4 figures, making a couple of $1,000s a day. But this is where we then take it to the next level and scale to multi 5 figures a day to get results like this. $15,000 in one freaking day. Let's fucking go. So this is how you go from 4 figures a day to 5 figures a day. And this is the exciting stuff. It sounds very simple, but it is gonna be so effective, you're gonna lose your mind, right? So what you want to do is you want to focus on scaling, and the scaling is done in 2 parts: vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. Vertical scaling is basically increasing the budget on your winning ad sets. Horizontal scaling is copying the winners and expanding them into different audiences. And this is what I want you to do in order to implement both vertical and horizontal scaling. So for vertical scaling, I want you to increase your daily budget by 5 to 20% every 48 to 72 hours, only if your cost per purchase and ROAS remain within targets. If you're hitting a target cost per purchase and return on ad spend, you want to increase the budget by 5 to 20% every 2 to 3 days. And if your cost per purchase rises above target by 15%, Just give it about 3 days. If it's still bad, if it's not where you want it to be, then you want to reduce your budget by about 5 to 10% or pause the ad set overall. In terms of horizontally scaling, what you want to do is you want to duplicate winning ad creatives and then expand them into other audiences, such as targeting new countries or new tier 1 countries. So if you're only targeting the US, you want to take your winning ad creatives and then start targeting and pushing them in UK or Canada. Right, that is how you expand your audience, and by increasing your budget, that is how you do vertical scaling. So ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly how we scaled this store from zero to now $15,000 in one day. We're doing well over $10,000 every single day. And that is what it is. That's how we go from zero to $10,000 to $15,000 a day. As I mentioned at the start of the video, if you want, this is a client store. If you want us to do similar for you, and what we basically do is we will find the product for you, we'll build the store for you, we'll build custom ad strategies, ad copies, ad creatives, everything for you. All you have to do is just book a free call with me. The link will be in the description. On the call, we'll go to exactly how we can help you and what it will look like. But yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do it. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And I'll be looking forward to talking to you soon. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.